We're back with a pedal review. Been a while since we've done one of these. Picked up a cool little pedal here. Not really a little, it's actually kind of a larger enclosure. This is a Caline Tigershark. Pretty neat. I like the graphic on there. It's hard to read, but it says Tigershark across there. But anyways, these Caline pedals are very cheap and they're usually pretty solid considering the price. This one, actually, I picked it up in a trade a couple weeks ago, and I just honestly have not gotten around to testing it out and playing with it and everything. That's on me. It's sold today on Reverb, so it'll get shipped out in the morning. So I was like, you know what? Let's do a little pedal review tonight on this thing because I just want to play it. So I have not even plugged this in yet. I have not fiddled around with it at all. So it'll be a completely blind test. And this pedal is a Distortion, as it says right there, and a noise gate, which is a fantastic combo. Distortion with a noise gate, awesome. 2 pedals in one. As per usual, we will start with all our knobs at 50% there, straight up and down, and then we'll fiddle with it, and I'll show you that view. And also per usual, we'll go right into the Boss Katana 50 watt on the clean channel, and that's recorded like 2 feet behind the camera, something like that, so not far. And this pedal also does have, if you can see it, a classic versus extreme mode, so we'll fiddle around with that, give it a try. And for this demo, we'll use Legator Ninja 6-string, and we'll just use it since it's a Distortion. We'll use it on the bridge position down here. Just cleaned up this guitar and put some new strings on it and everything. It had been getting a little dirty just from lots of play and, you know, dead skin from your fingers. But yeah, we'll wire it up. We'll set her up, and should be a cool one. I'm excited. We are wired up and ready to go, and we'll start it on the classic mode down there. So knob going down, everything's at 50%. Here's the Legator Ninja just clean. I also just realized this guitar's in drop D, so we're going to be playing drop D riffs on it today. Alrighty, starting with the Distortion. Didn't expect it to be a purple light, but I like that. Purple's my favorite color. That actually sounds really, really good. So if you recognize that 7-string riff, we're playing it on a 6, but I don't care. That sounded killer. This is, like I said, these pedals are cheap. I sold this, it sold on Reverb today for 40 bucks. They're not expensive. That kind of shreds. Clearly, I don't remember that Lamb of God riff off the top of my head very well. It's supposed to be Now You Got Something to Die For, but a little Tool riff in there as well. So right now with just the Distortion, it sounds great. I'm actually wildly impressed with this little thing. We haven't touched any of the knobs or anything. We haven't messed with the gate yet, and this is on Classic. That's a lot of distortion for Classic, but let's figure out the Extreme. For any of my German brethren out there, Guten Tag, Guten Abend, a little Rammstein riff. And on the Extreme, there's not a lot of difference that I'm hearing in the room between the Extreme and the Classic, other than the Extreme has a bit more harmonics and I don't like them as well. So we switch back, I'll play the same riff. A little more subdued. It's a subtle difference here. Clean it up with the gate, hopefully. If you heard any buzzing before, it is 100% gone. That's what a gate's supposed to do. Same riff. All right, the gate's turned up too much. I don't know which direction you're supposed to turn the noise knob to open or close the gate because it just says noise. So we'll turn down. Trying to remember the Arch Enemy riff that I really like that's in drop D for Lonely Solipsis. God, I can't remember it. I used to know it. I haven't played it in forever. There it is. It kind of came back to me. I think the gate's down a little too low, so we crank it up and you can hear it cutting out that just ambient noise from the strings. Might go back just a touch, see if that works. So the cool thing with a gate is doing exactly what I do there, where you can play something and chop it because it's not going to ring. So when you touch the strings to mute them, you don't get any extra ring. This does it really well. That's a good noise gate. There's not much that you need to do with a noise gate to test it. It either works or it doesn't. I've been using a Donner noise killer that I got from Amazon for like, I don't know, $20, $25. I've been using that for probably 6 years now and absolutely love it. It's one knob. It does what it's supposed to do. Same thing here. Good little gate on this side. We don't really need to mess with the volume too much. I might crank it just a little, but let's see what it can do. Gets pretty loud. This little thing, that feels like it's boosting it a bit in there. All right, so classic metal tone, of course. We'll put the distortion up a little bit and we'll suck the mids right out. Sounds pretty good. Getting a little more noise coming through. Honestly, I think we took the mids out a little too much. Let's dime out the distortion. Why not? Sounds fantastic with the distortion all the way dimed. It's honestly not a huge amount of difference. We'll roll it back, see what we get. don't know if I'd hear any difference at all. Even with the distortion all the way down, honestly, it sounds like close to identical. Yeah, I don't know what the distortion knob actually is supposed to do. It's not adding any noticeable gain or difference to the tone at all to my ear. I don't know, sounds good. We'll leave it in the middle and go back to extreme. That is a lot different than before. So that mid scoop on the extreme sounds very modern metal, like just really solid. And we get a very like crushing death metal tone out of the mids there all the way down. I'm just making that shit up as I go. Mids all the way down, not my style, but honestly sounds pretty good. We'll leave the mids down a little bit, that distortion all the way up. You hit those pinch harmonics pretty easy. Some of that's the guitar as well, but that sounds pretty good. That sounds real good. I like that. And just side-by-side comparison, not touching any of the other switches, same riff. Much different. On that classic, honestly gives you a classic, as they're going for, like Pantera tone, which is awesome. I always loved Dime. He's one of my all-time favorites. So straight up and down, I don't hear much difference between classic and extreme. We'll do that same Pantera riff. And then to extreme. Well, I can hear it there. I don't know. Maybe just it was different earlier, or maybe I'm dumb. I don't know. But that is much different now. So that's cool. Let's go all the way down on distortion again. Not much of a difference. God, I actually really like this pedal. This thing is killer. It's awesome. I think I like the classic mode better. It kind of reminds me of that BBE Blacksmith distortion that I did, but this has a built-in gate, and the distortion tone from it is honestly a little bit better. So I'd put it a notch above the Blacksmith distortion, and the Blacksmith was $10 more expensive. So not, nothing that's going to break the bank, but sounds great on the leads, even if I'm playing them real bad. We go back to extreme, play the same stuff. Sounds fantastic. Man, this is a good pedal. That's solid. And I'm not sponsored by literally anyone. The Neck Illusions sent me some stuff once, but Caline has never sent me anything, and this isn't even my pedal anymore. It has been purchased, so it hits the mail tomorrow. But if you're looking for a cheap distortion and you want a free pedal with it, the free gate that comes on the side is worth it. Like a good gate pedal, $25-30, you can get a gate, or the extreme gates from like Zool and stuff like that, or some ungodly amount of money, and they do the exact same thing. But this is a good deal for $40. If you can pick up one of these, it's so bright. I would recommend it, and you can run it clearly. I'm tapping the strings right now. I know you can't see me, but tapping the strings, tapping the guitar and everything. Yeah, you can run it without the distortion on and just the gate. I don't know why you wouldn't be able to, but you clearly can. And that has a useful function as well. So if you're just trying to quiet your rig, you can just use it as the gate when you need to, and then kick on the distortion going from your cleans to your dirties. But this little package is kind of awesome, and I wish I had messed around with it earlier, but I didn't, and that's on me. But I only run one distortion on my board anyways, and it's a custom-made distortion that I designed myself and had built by a guy out in California. And so that's the only distortion that I've ever had like dedicated on the board, and I really like it. And then the rest of my like dirty pedals are all fuzzes. So yeah, very cool. But let me know what you think of it. I think this is a pretty badass pedal for a very low amount of money. And if you have one or like it, or if there are other cool Caline pedals that I need to check out, hit me in the comments below, and we'll see you on the next one.